Welcome to Pussy Power. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pussy Power. Today is quite an interesting episode. We have Jaraskorn Khongthai. She is a Thai mom and an overall superwoman. After a non-consensual sexual incident in her early adulthood, she has decided not to subscribe to the victim mindset. Now, 9 years later, after being in a marriage with a man she didn't love, she is finally choosing herself and rediscovering who she really is. Today, we're talking life after divorce, the rape subculture in Thailand, and finding your long lost self. So, guys, because her name can be quite a mouthful for non-Asians out there, we are gonna call her Jay for today. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. Awesome.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
How is Thailand today?
Thailand today, oh my God, I don't remember the last time I stepped outside of the room because, self-isolation and stuff like that. Yeah, but the numbers of people who's caught in COVID, but it's not going to be pandemic anymore. People start to live with it. Yeah.
Yeah, people are kind of like, over this COVID thing, whatever.
True. It's just like,
Are you
stay
guys
safe.
are you guys accepting like tourists now?
Tourists, I think there are some exclusion, but you would still need 14 days quarantine to enter the country. And a lot of airline tickets are like canceled. So I'm not really sure if any of the country out there are able to fly here. Yeah.
Oh
Well,
wow.
every single one needs to go through a quarantine stage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the sucky part. So I'm pretty sure there are so many people who are like, oh wow, when they listen to this episode, they're gonna be like, okay, I'm interested to know her story. So walk us, because I was like shocked when I heard your backstory. So walk us through that. Like, how did that all start?
Okay, I guess it was all start when I was in college, I guess. Let's say Thailand is a very conservative country. So a woman's worth, it's her virginity back then. Yeah, everyone's going to be like, if your daughters are not virgin, you're not going to get as much dowry or something. That's like the old mindset. So I was grow up in that conservative mindset where I have to protect my virginity until I find someone I want to marry it to. But then after I grew up about 20 something, enter the college, alcohol and stuff like that. So I learned that, okay, a worth of a woman's, it's not in her vagina, okay? And then I'm very lucky that my household, even though I'm growing up with a single dad, he's not that much often to be present. So he doesn't have rights to say or like keeping track of my life or something like that. Pretty much freedom to learn what I want to learn or do what I want to do. I get part-time jobs. I can do anything as long as my academic records are at the top, which means something like not just a C, but more like a B and an A. So if I can
Very
keep that,
Asian.
yeah, if I can keep that academic record and get the papers submitted, he would be like, you can do whatever you want. So when I enter the college, I start rebelling around my second year where I want to live with my friends as a roommate and not living in a home anymore because that's not really there, and the cost traveling from my house to the university is very expensive. So after I got a roommate, she's a girl, by the way, and then I start to not coming back to the room. So I went out, hang
We
out.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I start to like hang out, go clubbing till the sunrise and stuff like that. I'm quite the party girl. So I hit the floor, I mingling. I'm very an extrovert person. So everyone's be like, do you want to go this tonight? Do you want to go that tonight? I'll be there. And despite not having money much, I would be like one glass and then walk around the club till the sunrise or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, so I can like get my glass filled every time, every single time. And
So
that's
tips for broke college students out there. That is one hack that you can use. Yes.
yeah, held on to your glass and then mingling with everyone. And then it's like, oh, what are you drinking? Oh, cheers. Oh, but mine's empty. No worries, we'll pour for you. That happens
Awesome.
all the time. Yeah. And then after that, I had a boyfriend, which is very much younger than me. He's still in high school, but already 18, by the
Was
way.
that
So
your husband?
nope, nope, nope.
Not yet. Not yet.
That's like, no, no, no. My husband been flirting with me when I was dating. Yeah. So he's like, I think he had a crush on me way, way back. And I was already had a boyfriend. And he's like, okay, you already had a boyfriend, but that's fine. But I still like you anyway. So he keep in touch and sometimes like texting and stuff like that. And I'm like, my boyfriend also know that he likes me and like I'm the popular girl there. So he's like, okay, it's just nothing new. It's just some guys who like my girlfriend and stuff like that. And then my first time with this boyfriend in college was non-consent. So it's kind of like, we're getting frisky and it was there. And my conservative mindset was at the back of my head. So I felt like maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm tempted to try. And then I'm
Mm.
like debating inside my head, like whether to do or whether not to do. And then one day it happened inside a closed bar on a couch where I was supposed to be taking a nap because I was like, tired and like try to get sober before I can go back. And okay, my boyfriend is here. So he's supposed to be taking care of me and to make sure nothing happens. But instead, I don't know what's going on there, but he makes sure no one enters the room and
Wow.
kind of like, yeah, get things going. And then that's the first time that things happen. And I felt like it's it's kind of painful. Yeah. Kind of like something that I'm not sure if I like it or not because consciousness is not there. Consent wasn't there.
Oh wait,
But
how did this happen? Is it like, hey, Shadi, just put this in, boom, just stay there?
I
How the
was
hell did
I,
like
I was supposed to be sleeping, like taking a nap
yeah.
to get sober or stuff like that. And I felt like he's like sleeping next to me and then start cuddling and then kissing and then things getting heating up. And then I felt like, wait, where are we going? But I'm still like half asleep.
But you
And I
literally were not like communicating with him.
no, there is no communicating like let's do this or stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, what is happening or why or what? And he'd be like, I'm not even sure if my first time was exactly in there or at a love hotel after, because I felt like after that first time he's addicted to me, like addict, like the sexual urge to constantly doing it. And eventually it's like make me feel good afterwards. So after a field trial, so he started to get a
Mm.
grabs and something like that. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's normal that the first time supposed to be painful, but
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
My
Yeah,
first time wasn't painful.
at that point, well, maybe the size, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. And like, virgin girls and, over standard size and the first time. And I think he's still young. So it's like he doesn't know how to properly treat it a woman to be ready to have
It
her
was like
first time.
Energizer Bunny.
Horny bunny, yeah. Let's say
Yeah.
it's like that. He's like teenagers, and
Yeah.
basically I'm also inexperienced, so I cannot guide anyone at all at that point, and I'm still
Mm.
confused inside, like should I be doing this or shouldn't I be? But every couples are doing it, and I'm already break through the mindset that what, a dowry or a money that your husband supposed to give to your family. I have only my dad, and my dad wasn't really there for me. So does he like worth it to, protect my virginity, to repay my dad, like Mulan family, make your family proud. So I'm kind of like, you know what? I don't have to put up with this because why not? What do I do this for? For my dad, for he to feel what's to say? Feel grateful that he raised such a fine daughter or pure daughter or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? Our family is broken in the first place. I grow up with our mom. And then when I'm gonna marry off to someone, if I'm gonna be a virgin, I'm definitely gonna get a divorce. So at that point,
Wow.
yeah, at that point, my brain wasn't registered the wife material. I
So like
wasn't
how
thinking, yeah.
for context, like I've been to Thailand and you guys are pretty much a mixture there, right? There are Buddhists and then Muslims. So are you guys were Muslims because you mentioned the dowry? Yes or
Uh,
no?
the the dowry is in culture aspect and not in the religious aspect. Yeah, it's in the
Oh, I
cult.
didn't
Yeah,
know that.
it's the culture aspect that when you want to marry any girls in Thai family, you have to offer the girl's family some dowries like money, gold, or something to show that you know the worth of the daughter.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah,
God. So they're literally, so like literally it's in the culture that's like, oh, you're this
buying
much,
off,
yeah,
buying.
dude. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I've always been curious about that. Like, my mom is now a Muslim, and I'm like,
Mhm.
why are you selling your girls? Okay, maybe that's like for me, I'm just like culturally or religiously ignorant. But that I've always been curious about that. It's like
Mhm.
I don't get that psychology. But yeah,
I-
you were like you didn't
Growing
give a shit
up,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, growing up in that kind of culture, and then the point of getting married off, and those dowry are the money that I spent years to grow my girls up, and now she's gonna be in your household taking care of your family, so give me the dowry. That's what I
Mm.
feel. Yeah, that's what I having the sense of when my dad's talking about, I'm gonna marry off someday and I'm not gonna be taking care of him. And that also triggered something like, why are kids or daughters, son are expected to take care of their parents when in fact everyone have their own life. It shouldn't be something to be obligated to do. It's more like, if you had a bond, you don't need to expect that. But this culture, it makes you feel like you raise your kids just in hope that one day when you grow up, you retired and your kids will raise you.
Mm.
Yeah, that's some sort of the culture that got me triggered, and like, why am I living for someone else? Yeah, like right from the start, I'm living to take care of my father when I grow up, or my purpose of being is just married off to someone. And it's not that. So I found myself when I was entering the college that I want to go abroad. I even thought about applied for UCLA, taking film school and stuff like that, but I don't have money. I'm come from a very poor family. My dad was like in debt with gambling addiction and stuff like that. So we don't have enough money. A lot of my tuition money are like from my scholarship or either loan or something like that. Yeah, so I
Wow.
know that we don't have that much of money. So I took a night job where I studied bartending. Yeah, that's where
Wow.
me and my first boyfriend met. Yep. So okay, back to the story. After that non-consensual encounter and a few trials passed, and like he want me to move in with him. So basically it's to like, get it going every time.
Yeah. Ooh. So
Yeah,
like wait, did he say that that was the reason why he wanted to move in with you, or was it like something that you felt like, ooh, like he wants to do this like every single time?
kind of felt, you know what, I only date people out of comfortable because I don't have comfortable life. I always have to take public communication, public bike, public bus and stuff like that. But when I have a boyfriend, my boyfriend had a car, or a
Mhm.
motorbike or something like that. And I felt like this is comfortable, and it's
Yeah.
something that a boyfriend is obligated to do for you, supposed to drive you to places, take you out
Mhm.
for lunch, for dinner, pays for you sometimes and stuff like that. So I felt like it wasn't bad. And it felt like if I had a boyfriend and I had that kind of conveniences, why not? And he's the one who approached me first, or like hitting on me first, flirt with me first. I have this dilemma where I never get a guy I like. Like, I don't know why. you know, the guy I like or my standard are pretty like, and I wasn't able to get any of them to like
Wow.
interest in me, or like liking me back or something like that. I used to have unrequited love for 6 years back in high school for the same guy over the 6 year, and he's like a friend, being a friend with me. He's not like, he told me that, you know what, there might be a chance if we grow up and none of us were married, I'm good to be like living with you, like co-living or taking care
Mhm.
of each other, and just getting married whatsoever if we're 25 and none of us are married. But I'm married since 23 or 22. Yeah.
Damn, that's early.
Yeah, that's very early because me and this boyfriend, I caught him cheating on me on my
Mm.
birthday. Yeah. So my birthday, I was supposed to spend time with my family back then because I'm still young, and in birthday tradition,
So did you guys move
uh,
in?
I moved temporary. Like I slept
Temporarily.
over. It just slept over,
Mm.
slept over from time to time, but I'm still living with my roommate, even though I don't return to the room that often. My roommate
And
kind of like, I got a room to
and
myself.
and I guess for context for the people who are listening or watching, it's more like because you are like completely understand where you're coming from. It's like, woo, I got a boyfriend. Woo, perks, perks, yes, treat me like a queen. Oh yeah. And I totally get where you're coming from. So for everyone else who's not like who's a little confused about, why they're or where that concept is coming from or that ideal is coming from. It's more like because you grew up, you were fending for yourself, your dad wasn't really there for you, so you kind of like had to take the world by storm and really fight for things, fight for scholarships, and get things on your own. You were like a go-getter, and very you probably learned to get things on your own and not really depend on anyone that much. And so like as a woman in a feminine body, like having those perks and having someone take care of you like that, like makes you feel good. And that's why, folks, that is why it feels nice when you've been so independent for so long to have somebody like take care of you like that. Because I don't know if that was your experience. Like, did I sum that up right?
It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of on point.
Awesome. So we were getting back to on your birthday he cheated on you. How dare he?
I have no idea. And it's very cool, by the way. It's like, wow, the effort, because I didn't know that all this time that we were dating, he constantly go back to fuck his ex from
Wow.
time to time, that without me knowing at all. And then
You literally didn't know. You like no intuitive hits, like nothing.
nothing. I
Wow.
never know it happens because he asked me to like moved in, and I've been sleep over for few nights and then back to my place, back and forth to take care of my clothes and stuff like that. I didn't leave my belonging at his place, so it's more like a sleepover, few nights, and then go back based on the schedule and stuff like that. Yeah, and at that point, I remember, because I date people out of convenience, I don't have emotional attachment. Yeah. With
Wow.
yeah, I don't have emotional attachment like, you know what, let's forgive him because of love. I should, give him a chance to prove his love and stuff like that. And I'd be like, fuck that shit. I'm like, if you're cheating on me, it's mean that someone out there are still more attractive, or like I'm not that worth enough for you to focus just on me. So
Mm.
you can go find that bitch, like go back. And the way I found out was like he went out to have a drink and I was at home alone at his place. So I turn on the laptop and, go through the files. Ladies, please don't. and you know,
You
and
learned your lesson.
when you go through the files, it's kind of like, what's this folder? What this
Why
about?
why
Why
why did you why did you do that? Like, was there something that told you, wait, something's off here? Or was it like, gotta do my own thing?
I was playing games and then saving the recording screen. And then I tried to find the location of that recording screen and I find a lot of suspicious porn folder. So I'm like, what kind of porn's his look? Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Wait, that's him. Wait, who's the girl? Wait,
That's
what's the date?
certainly not you.
So it's come like this. Ooh, there's a porn folder. Ooh, what kind of porn? Ooh, wait, what? And like checking the date that it was filmed because I studied film. I know how to check the detail of the video, how it filmed, what kind of camera it used, how it exported, how it saved, stuff like that. So I checked the file and it's recorded on my birthday. So I'm like,
Wow, how dare he? Wait,
so I
did you even have birthday sex then? Because what the fuck?
no, no, I don't. So
Oh, you
on
were
my
with your
birthday,
family.
on my birthday, I usually go back to spend time with my family. So I saved that clip and then I showed my friend and asked my friend, am I delusional or this is really my boyfriend? And my friend was like, yeah, that
Yeah,
looks like.
Tim. Yeah, yeah. For
So
confirmation.
yeah, the confirmation. And then I get up and left his place at 2 a.m. I called a cab, go to my friend's place. So my roommate already passed asleep. So I
Did you
go to the,
cry? Did you cry?
nope,
You
zero.
were just like, whatever.
It's not really like that, but more like rage. I have
Ah,
rage.
yeah.
The
Wow.
emotion, the emotion there was rage and I felt
Mm,
betrayed.
mm,
Yeah. So the point is, if you're gonna do that, you gotta have a consent. You gotta give me a shot,
mm,
right? If you want to be poly, told me. I'm fine with that. Like, okay, we are committing, but I still want to have sex with my ex. Then I'll be like, okay, sure. Then I can still hook up with people at the pub, right?
oh
It's
my
supposed to
god.
be that way.
Yeah, it's the lack of respect and the lack of communication. Like, I literally had the same exact experience with my pseudo ex, and I thought he cheated on me because he agreed that, kind of like, hey, we're not gonna have sex with other people, and then I find out that he was having sex with like multiple women. I'm like, and I got fucking, I had like STI because of that. I'm like, fuck, something's wrong with my vagina, and like, fuck. I
Oh
know. So
shit.
I was literally betrayed with medical bills to, like, show
He's
for it.
supposed to pay for that. He's supposed
And
to pay for that. Oh my
it was
God.
like
Yeah.
so terrifying and so, like, so crazy. I was so mad too. And I was like, why would people not just, come out and say, hey, I want to have sex with multiple people? And it'd be like, cool, you do you, instead of like going behind my back and fucking a dozen other girls without my consent, because you're in my body unprotected. That's
Shit.
the rant
Yeah.
right there. That's the rant right there.
I totally understand. And like all the boys out there who listen to Pussy Power or all the girls, you know what? Communicate to your man. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I understand if you have the urge to, hook up with someone else, but please let it be consent because if you are seriously dating me and banging me constantly, I deserve to know who else you're banging.
Yeah.
Are she clean? Does she caught COVID? What's the past medical record? You know what?
So funny.
We're in this formal setting. It's supposed to be that
Mm,
formal. It's not a stage where you can just hook up with anyone and come home, because you don't know if she's clean or not. Does she have the vaccine or STD or
mm,
stuff like that? It's not that type anymore. You should have like a clear communication between who you're dating and who you're fucking, like both ways. You know what? I'm horny,
totally.
yes, but gotta use protection and gotta know the record or else
Yeah,
it would
it's
be like at risk.
totally. It's like, if it's only considered cheating when you're going behind the other person's back and it's non-consensual. If it's like you guys come together and you're like, hey, you know what, I really like what we have here, I like being in a relationship with you, but I still want to fuck other people. So it's like it's you guys are still communicating. It's not like you're betraying someone, because that's, I think that's the fine line of like, did your partner actually consent to this? Because you're banging her, which means the, you know, the sexual infections and shit that you can actually pass her, which is like so fucked up. Like it gets me
Yeah.
so mad.
Well, it's so bad because everyone are caught up in this mono relationship concept that they
Mm,
felt like they're so oh high and mighty. Like I had a girlfriend and we love each other for 7 years and no sneaky links at all and stuff like that. And did things behind the back, which is like awful. And I just felt like it was from that point onwards that I start to realize that, okay, you know what, this maybe not work for me. So
mm,
I never date anyone more than 3 months before this boyfriend. Before that was like puppy love, since high
mm.
school, dating someone else, just, try it out and stuff like that, hold hands, having dinner, having lunch. It's more like a date, but not really in a relationship. This is like the first time that I in a relationship had sex, met his mom and stuff like that. He met my dad. But after that cheating incident, I was snapped. And then I realized something. He record her number on his phone as mom.
Wow. Wow.
So when mom called, he'd be like, wait, mom called, I gotta go take a phone, something like that.
Wow.
That's very clever. I
That
gotta
is
give him
me.
that. I gotta give him that. Like, I gotta
Mm.
pick up the call from my mom. And then one day, because we've been dating, I met his mom and stuff like that. He left the phone there and mom called. That's one time that I picked up and the voice wasn't his mom. Then I'm like, sorry, but he's in the restroom. Who's this again, mom? And they just hung up. And I'm like, wait, is that mom or someone from mom's place? Because his mom had a lot of subordinate who's also a girl. So I didn't catch anything back then. But when I saw the video clip and then, connect the dots, the detective things start aligning. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh, that girl.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
been there.
How long has it been going, bruh? So yeah, so basically he never why would he broke up with her in the first place? They still gonna fuck. I still cannot go back and talk to him because I was full of rage. I am now forgive him. If you ever see this clip, which I doubt if you ever will, but yeah, I've already forgiven you because the lesson I had after that was more
Mm,
fucked up than that one. Yeah.
really?
Because well, my husband, of course, duh. So
Wow.
yeah,
Fuck. So after that experience, you now were blessed with another lesson who was your husband. What was
yeah.
that like marriage like?
So basically, I gave up on men on that relationship because it's been a year or two, and I felt like I had nothing out of it. I don't feel love, just sex. So why not just fuck around and then being playgirl and if you want to hook up and then no more relationship. I can just focus on my work and work my way to get a scholarship and study abroad and stuff like that. That's what I had in mind. Yeah, because I was almost at the end of my last year in college. So when I study film, I always want to participate in film events abroad, like Cannes or Hollywood, Grammys, whatever, at any position. So I felt like, yeah, I should apply for a scholarship and stuff like that. But then I was about to get a recommendation from one of my professors, and then my ex-husband, yeah, let's say the guy liked me back in the years, and he's noticed that I broke up with my boyfriend, so he hit me up again. Mhm. So it's
Just
basically like
watching, but just watching in the sidelines, checking if she's available.
I'm always updating my social media. So
Yeah.
yeah, you'll know if I broke up with someone. So yeah, so when I broke up, I didn't disclose about cheating and stuff like that. I would be like, okay, I'm back to be single again, like put myself out there in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd be like, yeah, hitting me up. So I'm like, give him a chance so he can take me out to lunch with my friend. So my friend can analyze him and gave me score that should I date
Smart.
him or not. Yeah.
Smart. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, so kind of like yeah, he take me out to a lunch, and he had a motorbike, he had a car, and he pays for the meals and whatever. But my friend says like, you know what, I don't think he's your type. Like the vibes
Really?
not, yeah, the vibes really not click. And I'm like, but he said he loved me and he's been waiting for me for years though. I should give him a chance, right? And my friends was like, this is his chance. Like the lunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can tell my friend's not impressed with him. Yeah. I
Mm.
cannot
Wow.
pinpoint where or what because I couldn't care less. I would be like, I have a very bad judgment. I would feel like if they take a good care of me, anything else can be, negate. Yeah, I can
Mm.
just overlook anything. Just take a good
Wow.
care of me and I'm fine with whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not the one who like hopelessly chase for romance or love because I don't have it in the first place. Like people always saying that I have a daddy issue. Like I don't receive enough love from my dad that I should
Mm.
be seeking love from somewhere else.
Mm.
While I just gain this energy in me that you don't need to get people acknowledgement. You can love yourself, you can grow this power within yourself and be independent. That every time I lean on someone, people disappoint me. So why are you in that constantly disappointing stage where people keep failing you again and again and again, and then you think one day you would find someone that would fulfill all those gaps? Why are you looking for that someone when you can just fulfilling everything by yourself, making yourself feel good, getting more skills, making you had a stance in the society and being independent? It's like a fact for me that I'm gonna be that
Mm.
person. And whoever coming into my life just gonna make me feel comfortable and live more comfortably. And that's the end of the line. I don't chase for love or romance. I just felt like it's bullshit. But
Mm.
this guy who had a crush on me for a longest time, saying he loved me with all his heart, he wanted to have me, like everything about me is turning him on, like just be near me, talk to me, or like a slight touch or anything like that. He said he never felt this way with any woman before. So it has to be me. Like I'm the one. I'm the girl of his dream or something like that. So when you heard that from a guy, of course it moved, right? It would feel like, okay, maybe I should give him a shot or something. But
Yeah.
after my friend said, girl, no, this isn't your cup of tea, you're gonna be miserable. So I'm like, okay, maybe not. And then the destiny seems to like playing tricks because we lived in the same society. He's like a 5-year senior above me in the university. So he already graduated and all, and he kind of had free times and stuff. And my friends hanging out at his place a New Year's party. So it's like a huge group in the rooftop having drinks, watching fireworks. It's a New Year party. So I'm like, yeah, why not? Just join there. And he kind of introduced me to his dad at the moment. Like, this is the girl I had a crush on. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like, wow, okay. When you had someone heads on to you for the longest time, for so many years, it kind of feel like maybe, even though everyone said no, but inside I felt like if he loved me that much, he wouldn't hurt me. Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I feel. I feel like if he loved me that much, he wouldn't hurt me, he wouldn't betray me, he wouldn't cheat on me. Of course, he
Mm.
would do anything in his power to make me happy.
And
Yeah,
in your marriage with him, did he fulfill on that? Did he over deliver? Did he do everything for you?
he did. He did. Yeah,
Wow.
he
So
did.
how come this seemingly like a fairy tale-ish beginning comes to like such a bittersweet ending?
It's because I don't have the aspect of having a lovers or a family in the first place. When I'm a very, very individual, I never think for family. I never think for the kids. I never think for
Mm,
anyone. I only think for myself. And forcing myself to have compassion, to have kindness for other people are hard. I've been
mm,
trying, like constantly trying. You have to be selfless, you have to do things for your family, blah, 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 all that. And I felt like, fuck it. I work this hard. I want to spoil myself. Why am I working hard and gotta put my money on my kids? That doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna try to be like to analyze that. It's like, is it because you were working so hard and then you got married early, and so you didn't feel like you had, that period where you were just like treating yourself, traveling by yourself, achieving your dreams? Was it that?
I guess so. I never had a dream to myself when I learned that I pregnant. It was not prepared. It was not in the plan, and definitely not from, well, my side. I'm not having sex with him because I love him. I was more like
Mm.
giving him a chance. Yeah, try it. Why not? Stuff
Wow,
like that.
wow.
Yeah.
So you
So,
really
mhm,
tried for like nine
yeah.
years.
Yeah, I tried. I tried. But it's like lying to myself or fooling myself with the social standard. Everyone jealous of my life, to be honest. Like, um, I was married at age 23, and have my kids at the same year, I guess. Yeah. It's like I married in July and then I gave birth in December. hmm Yeah. And a little bit earlier, I took graduation ceremony where no one in my family showed up. hmm Yeah. So the sense of family in me are like minus or
Mm,
even like zero. I
yeah.
don't have I don't have a sense of family. Families are like responsibility.
Mm,
So I can feel that to my dad, I'm his responsibility. He did his best he could to raise me, to not having me become a slut or a drug dealer or an addict or something like that. It's his responsibility. But I doubt if it was from a genuine love. He made me doubt the love for family.
mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
because when you said your mom and dad are like unconditional love, I don't think so. I think that's bullshit. They
Mm,
are romanticizing the love between parents and kids so much that it makes you forgive everything your dad or your mom do because
exactly.
biological by blood. Yeah, everything they do are like in the best case, are in the best way. They always hope the best for you. That's bullshit. So I guess it's the best for themselves. hmm
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all about, their ego and what makes them look good in society. So going back to your marriage, you have this tendency to be in a relationship with someone out of comfort. Was your marriage out of comfort as well? Because like you got pregnant or whatever?
Yeah, it is out of comfort because at first when we were decide to dating, I'm not even decide to dating, but it was happened because of that New Year party.
Mm.
Non-consensual encounter happens again, flashback. I think the same mistake are gonna keep repeating in my life. So yeah, I
Wow.
was drunk, I was fall asleep, and in a room full of people. So it's not just us two. There are like bunches of other people sleeping on the floor, and he gave me the bed and then laying on the bed next to me. hmm Same scenario, but changed the setting, right?
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, so I don't remember shit, but I know something has happened. I don't even know if it was inside, outside, protected or not. Did I was orgasm or not? Did he's there or what? I have absolutely no idea. And there's a
Mm.
bunch of people in the room that I cannot make a ruckus or make shit up. So I'm just like, you
Oh,
know what,
damn.
I'm just gonna get up and go back to my room, to my friends, and try to figure shit out. What should I do? So I take the pills. From that day, I take the pills. I smoke. I had alcohol, and I'm like, you know what? This is the first time that I felt like love is bullshit. Like, wow, you're so in love with me, but you basically doesn't care about my feeling at all, right? And my friends was saying this to me, like, he really liked you, but you never looked at him. So this is the only way that you would going out with him. Mhm.
So
So
how did that like so you had like a lot of red flag alerts from your friends like ding 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 ding. How the hell did that lead to marriage? I like how?
yeah, yeah. Well, that friend was a guy, and this isn't a bias to all guy out there in the world, but I just felt like guys are selfish in general.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the guy be like, it's okay, he fucked you, but he doesn't fuck you and then left you. He fucked you and then he want to take care of you for the rest of your life. That's a comfortable life, right? And that hits the nail because it's something that, oh yeah, that's something I always looking for. I looking for a comfortable life. And he had a house. His house are quite packed, like got some real estate, got some large house, and the money and all that. He doesn't have anything, but his house are like well off. So if
Hmm.
I actually married in there, I would have a roof over my head, I would have a car, I would have a person who drive me everywhere. Oh yeah, there's like more pros than cons.
Oh, so it was
Yeah.
like okay, it was more for real like the comfortable life.
Yeah, so I don't have to
Mm.
pay for monthly room rental. I don't have to find food on my own. Back then, they even have a servant in their house where clean for you, a maid. Yeah.
Mm.
So do all this stuff for you that you don't have to do things yourself. So it's definitely a comfortable
It
life
was a
that I
good
never.
it was a good deal for you. I was like, let's see this is gonna
I'll
get.
take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So
And he's like heads over heel for me. So what could happen, right? Yeah.
wow. So like you mentioned before that, the non-consensual sexual encounters
Yeah.
seem to like happen quite a bit in Thailand and
Yeah.
that it's a little romanticized more than because like in the US or even here in the Philippines, it's like what just happened? Like that's not okay. Like people actually go to jail for that shit, right? Like what is it like, what is different in Thailand? Like what's that subculture that you have
If
on that?
if it's not people who are well educated or more like consuming a lot of media from the world, if it's country girl and you got raped by some guy, the solution for the adult would be like married off with them. Yeah, yeah,
What the fuck? Why?
yeah. So it's
I don't
like if you
understand it.
if
Why would
you
you
get
marry the guy who raped you? I don't fucking understand.
the old traditional culture for country girls do be like that. Like if you get
Mm.
raped, that guy gotta take responsibility of your life forever. So it's like that's why women price worth on their virginity. If it's taken away, that guy gotta take care of you, or else no one would want you. That's the very old
Wow.
mindset.
It's
That's
or
the very
else no
old
one will
mindset.
want you.
Yeah, basically that.
Wow.
Yeah. And in these years it's getting way better. So a lot of media are showing that, you know what, rape victim we're not supposed to be victimizers anymore. It's not that because she dressed slutty, it's not because that she's showing some kindness. There's a recent case where the girl and the security guard. So basically, the girl are like always nice and giving gift to the security guards, more like, I bought some food and here I have some for you and blah blah blah. And then one day she forgot the keys, so she asked the security guard, to like unlock the door and stuff like that. And then okay, good. When she unlocked the door, she go inside, and then he come back again, and then pushed her in, and then raped her. Yeah. So yeah, and then the news, it's so fucked up. The comments are like, you know what, it's because you're showing interest in him before, which is not. Like, why the men
Wow.
always thinking that girls are interested in them when they're like giving them gift, like a food or something? It's because you want to be friendly with someone who can protect you. That's the
Yeah,
sense. So
exactly.
he would provide extra security for her
Oh my
in
God.
that case.
I do that with our security here and they all love me now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that case kind of turned the tables around, and people are like, fuck, now I don't know what to do. Being a girl is so hard, man. Like, you just give people gift and they think you had like, I don't know, like make a move, not really make a move, but like leading people's on. Yeah, which is not. But men's are be like, yeah, men's on the internet in general, and people who aren't that well educated, that people can be nice without, leading people's on. They just thought that the girl are flirting and this is what she deserve or something like that, which is so fucked up. People in internet can be mean. And I think a lot of comments are also debating on the girl's end, and more like more in the wider picture, it's much more better these days. But imagine the country girl, or the girl who doesn't have access to the internet or doesn't have the news to go there and make public out of it. If she got raped and then her parents found out, you're gonna get forced to get married with a guy. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
that is fucking crazy and so
Yeah,
fucking scary. Let's t-
exactly.
let's touch back on your marriage. So
Mhm.
you wanted the comfortable life. He was like, "Huh, I'm gonna worship you for the rest of my days. I love you so much." How did
Yeah, but
how did it
okay.
feel like in those 9 years of trying to be a good wife, trying to be the mom, the perfect, like seemingly having the perfect life?
Yeah.
When did it start feeling like you were slowly losing yourself?
I guess it was the pandemic that it makes me losing myself, because I was trapped inside the house. I didn't go
Hmm.
out to the office. I don't have my social circle. Usually when I go to work, I had this energy where I like mingling with people, having lunch with friends after work, having dinners with coworkers and stuff like that. I barely go home. So I would be home like very late or something like that. Spent my life outside as much as possible. And then, yeah, when pandemic hits, I get stuck inside 24/7. And the kids also having online class, that's double the chaos. So, yeah, it's kind of making me lose my mind. And I use money to solve the problem. I buy things for myself that I don't even use. Like it's a limited edition. It's like 1 in 100, or like
Hmm.
something you can't have even if you have money. Yeah. So I get all that stuff and I don't even use it. It just plays there on my shelf and makes me feel the sense of accomplishment or the victory or something, or proud. Yeah, that, I own that thing. I choose it. I bought it. And that's how I cope with the life back then. It's not a really good thing, but yeah, it makes me able to live. And I also a game addict in a sense. Like I go to the game, playing games with friends over the sea, which is not someone from this country or from my society. It feels like I have a new identity. I have new friends, new circle, new story. And it is something I enjoy. I fully enjoy every second of it. It's not struggling at all. And I got this realization that, you know what, something must be wrong with me. Yeah. The thing that triggered was our sex life. It was so dry. Like, even though he tried a lot of stuff to please me in bed, I start to pick up BDSM, or I start to pick up something kinky. He would want to try that with me, but his experience are not my level. The gap between my first boyfriend and him, I fucked around a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So the gap between that, I fucked around a lot and I had a lot of good ones. Yeah.
Wow. And he just
So
wasn't, meeting the standards. Like he was just like so short of your standards.
I don't even know if my standard is too high or what. It's
Mm.
kind of like some experience I encounter are like, damn, he know how to please a girl body, or like knows where to go to, or the consensual, the care and stuff like that, the pillow
Mm.
talk and all that. And we exchange number with some of them, and some of them are like texting me afterwards, be like, hey, are you free tonight, or like, hey, do you want to come over? Okay,
Mm.
so if they're good, I would come back for a second round, so it's not one night
Mm.
stand. So
Mm.
that's
The
the
two night
life.
stand.
Maybe more, but okay,
Yeah.
but that's the life I was enjoy having.
Mm.
That's the life I was enjoy having before I accidentally hooked up with him. And then after that non-consensual night, okay, why not try to date him? He loves you so much. You should be happy. So I'm like, okay, maybe. Okay, let's try. Because my work there was at the production house, my sleep schedule are very fucked up because I have to go to the shooting set doing production from 5 a.m. to another 5 a.m. Sometimes it's 24 hours to stay on the set. It at least 8 hours to 12 hours, sometimes 16, sometimes 24, sometimes even more, because you can never predict what's going to happen on the set. Mhm. But that's also money. So
Wow.
basically, yeah, I want someone who can pick me up. Yeah, who can pick me up, who can take me to breakfast, fetch me meals, and something like that. He can fulfill all of that. So it's like, yeah, why not? So I start dating him, and then a lot of non-protection, and that's why my pills doesn't work with me too, because my circle aren't normal.
Oh
I
shit.
haven't got, yeah, I haven't got checked up yet, but yeah, it happened first. So
Mm.
from my first child, when I know I'm pregnant, my head was blank because I never planned. I don't know what to do. What my dad would say about this, or blah blah blah, yada yada. And then the most, yeah, the most surprising shit happens. Be like, yeah, just get married and get it done, and then properly moved in, whatever, find a job. My dad even find him a job because he was jobless at the moment. So basically, I get a job by myself, and he get a job by my dad, and then we both were working on the first year of marriage. It's like both contribution. I earned less than him because I have zero experience, and he's like 5 years older. Yeah. So start off, he had more than me. So he cut half of his salary for me to manage. And I also, yeah, taking care of everything in the house, the expense, the kids, the, pregnancy, the medication and stuff like that. Yeah, it was all on me. So we help each others out on the first 3 years, and then my salary jumped ahead of him in that span of 3 years. Yeah, because I grow my career in the digital marketing, where I absolutely had no idea what this is all about. And it's so weird because when back in college, the marketing, the statics, and the, economic are the lowest grade on my paper. I get like F or D, not even C. It's like a very bare minimum to pass. So I picked those up. And it turns out I can do well on it. I do influencers marketing back in the days where no one know what influencers is all about. So I grow my connection from there. I work with millions of followers, influencers who start off from zero and doesn't know how to write a blog. So a lot of influencers in Thailand knows me. And they've been work with me one way or another. I'm not even in just the beauty industry. I'm in like travel industry, food industry, tech, writers. I'm all over the place. So people often remember me as, one of the girl who coached the influencers or taking care of deals between influencers and brand, and,
Mm.
taking care of their documents and stuff like that. Some people even hire me as their manager for like a short period of time. Yeah. So that's where my career path grow, and the money has been dropped double and triple, and now it's probably like 5 times more than the year that I began. It's because it's very unique and it's a very like a future side jobs that kind of be my main job right now. Yeah. So taking care of these community has been rewarding for me. And I also get to meet a lot of people. Yeah. So when 3 year pass, I get my career up ahead and he'd be like, you know what? Since we're about to have the second child, FYI, that the second child is happened because I stopped my medication, the birth control shots. Yeah, and then the doctor want to analyze my cycle. If it's normal, how's my hormone doing and stuff like that. And my husband kind of horny all the time, 24/7. He tried to had it going with me all the time. So yeah, when my period came and I just get pregnant again. So that's kind of like, wow, I guess I have no way out. I never had the image of splitting up with him or divorce with him because he's so in love with me. Like head heads over heel, do everything for me, change himself, quit
Wow.
smoking, exercising,
Wow. Damn,
losing like
girl.
yeah. So basically it's like he's trying to be the perfect man for me, try to fill in every box that one girl would want. Like
So
if
if
Mhm.
he was like literally, being Prince Charming for you, what led you to that moment of like, okay, that's it. I want a divorce.
I think the sex is something crucial. Like
Woo!
you know what? Prince Charming, Prince Charming, but my body wasn't
But the sex is
responding.
bad.
Well, I think it might be good. There are some good times, but you have
Mm.
to try so fucking hard to get there. Yeah, so it's something that rarely happen and I don't think I think it's my body telling me that you know what, you don't have feelings for him. So you have
Mm.
to use a lot of external material to make yourself aroused, to close my eyes, imagine it's someone else, to like, please don't talk and let me
Wow.
hear something else. Or,
That's
or
so
like
funny.
turn off the light and let me imagine that on top of me it was some superstar or supermodel or the guy I met on TikTok or something like that. I don't know, but it's more like my body is telling me that girl, this isn't the one. You don't have the sexual
Wow.
tension. You don't have the sexual tension between yourself and him. He always have that sexual tension with me, but I'm like very annoyed, very irritated.
Hmm.
And every couples who's in marriage would said the same thing. Like if I talk to my aunt or if I talk to his mom, it would be like, you know what, we've been there before. That happens, you just have to get over it. It's like the wife duty. Hmm. You know, if you don't want to do it, you tell him, but eventually you just got to give it to him to keep your man happy, that sort of things. Yeah.
So that's the lesson, folks. When sex is good, it's 20% of the relationship. But when sex is bad, it's 80% of a relationship.
Exactly,
What do
man.
you
That's
what do
so
you think
bad.
what do you think was the biggest lesson that the 9 years of being in a marriage with that man taught you?
More like be selfish. Like
Hmm.
people are so fucking scared of being judged. Like me myself are one. Like I don't want to be judged. I don't want people to judge me for being a bad mom, a bad wife. So in the past 9 years, even though I had a lot of hookups before, I never once cheated on him like ever, even though the sex was bad, but I never
Hmm.
cheated.
Woo!
Yeah.
Mad respect.
Yep. I never cheated.
That's
I
strength.
felt
Wow.
yeah, I felt like I had a communication with him yet like there's no sexual tension and I am now living in my fantasy world with 2D men's on the screens on the screen and the 3D men's and whatsoever. I'm like fantasizing and being an otaku, you know, reading comics and be like, this man, okay, man out of a novel. Like no more real life men anymore for me. So basically, my husband was okay with that I'm gonna have a fantasy of a 2D men's or TikTok or whatever and eventually I'm still in bed with him, right? So he's fine with all that. But then I start to get delved into that, and I felt like, why am I having pleasure from virtual world more than, the real deal that was sleeping next to me? Yeah, that's not supposed to be right. So
Mm.
something must be going on. So he's like, you know what, you should talk to the therapist. Yeah, or like get a consult, a couple consultation, to save this marriage, because he cried on top of me when he, kind of almost, not almost, I think, I wouldn't say raped, because I'm the one who said, can you just get it over with so I can go back to sleep? That's a consent, right? Come out from my
Mm.
mouth.
It's like,
But in a
whatever.
but
Fucking
in
get
a
it over
way,
with.
that I wonder how any men would turn on by that, right? So how did you even get a heart on with that? So it's so weird for me that when I said that, he let go of me, and then he turned on and pushed me on the bed and then do it till he's done inside. And then he cried on top of me. And then I'm the one who get fucked. And I'm like the bad guy here, because I don't respond.
I know how you feel.
I I let you fuck me and then you cried, and I don't know how to react to that scenario. So I go back to sleep. Yeah. And he's like, go up, wash, and then sleep, turning his back on me. And I'm like, is this the part where I should comfort him? But I was the one who get
Yeah.
fucked. So question mark, what is going on? So yeah, he turned back and he's talked to me like, you know what? I think this is awful. We're at the point where you're not enjoying me anymore, and you're like always disgust or doesn't want to do it. Let's go to the therapist. Let's have a couple consultation and see how to work with it. Mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
that's when I like, oh, my current company had this wellness benefit where you can talk to therapists for free. So I'm going to use that one, the employee benefit. Yeah. So I went alone first, and then the therapist told me that I never had time to talk to myself. I always need to survive. So from day one, I never talked to myself. I have to study to get a scholarship. I had to find a job to have more income. I had to, yeah, work for my kids. I had to, do everything for my husband. And the me was lacking, myself.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm,
So the therapist be like, you need 6 months off
mm,
from family to have space for yourself, talk to yourself. What do you want? What feelings do you have? Like the communication within yourself need to be strong enough. But apparently people doesn't communicate with themselves. They get forced by the external environment to force them to do things they are today. So why do I do this? It's because of this, it's because of that, but it wasn't because I want to.
mm,
Or, yeah, it's not even something I find pleasure in. Do I really enjoy working, or I just enjoy meeting people? Yeah.
mm.
So it's like we need to have internal communication with ourselves to figure it out what we want to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
totally.
the part where I get the tips from the therapist, and then the 6 month break. Since I have families and kids, the therapist said it should be subtle because the kids won't be shocked. Like suddenly their mom's gone. Yeah. So it would be like maybe you can plan weekends off to yourself, go spend your time at your dad's place, and then start shifting from weekends to weekdays. And then, eventually just had the whole week to yourself, a subtle way. Yeah.
Wow.
So the kids would eventually learning that you need time off to yourself, and then you come back when you had the answer. What do you want to do with your life? But to my surprise, I already had an answer from the first consultation. Mhm. Yeah,
And that's where the divorce.
the divorce just pops up. Like, if I separate with him, will I felt missing any of this or want to come back, it's a no. I would want to go and go whatever I want to go. Yeah.
And since you weren't really relying on him for comfort anymore, because you are the one bringing up the bacon, you're like, ah, no reason to stay here. So post divorce, how are you, establishing that relationship with yourself? How are you reinventing yourself after that divorce?
It's the on get go because it's not something I planned. When the stuff happened, it happened right before, about a week or two before my birthday. Yeah, yeah. The divorce pops up there, but it's just communicating. We're not signing papers or anything yet.
Mm.
So at that point, we were talking about divorce, and I felt like, you know what? I don't think I will ever gonna come back or spend the rest of my life with you or whatsoever. I'm so sure that it's not going to work. And he is so sure that it's going to work on a different way. He
Wow.
think having time for myself, I will eventually realize this is the life I want. This is the life that he able to give me, to have a happy family together, to have a future together, his keyword. Yeah. And me, always myself, I'm like, if I had a time to myself, I would just go and never come back. And people be like, aren't you gonna miss your kids or something? And I'll be like, of course I'd miss them, but I don't want to stay with them. Is that wrong? Right?
Mm.
So it's more like my kids having grandparents, having him, having, well, his family is a very big family because it's a well-off family, so they have a lot of cousins. They have a lot of people on their back when I'm the one who only had my dad and like few
Mm.
other relatives, but I don't have the bond in family that much. Like I felt like no one really needs me, or if they
Mm.
say they need me, I don't need them.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So basically, I was detaching myself right from the start when I had this family. I never put 100% in and say I did this to have a family together. I always told him at one point, I want my kids to able to take care of themselves, and then I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go on my own. I'm just gonna travel the world, see the world, and the kids doesn't have to bother with me. If on my birthday, my only wish is people leave me alone. Yeah.
Mm.
So basically, I just wanna be alone. I don't even
Yeah.
want to be with him. And he'd be like, anything with you, I'm fine.
Because you didn't really have, your dreams fulfilled. You didn't go to UCLA. You did not have that time where you were just with yourself, by yourself, all alone, and you can figure things out by yourself. It's like, boom, working for scholarships, boom, figuring out how to survive, boom, got pregnant, boom, now I have to take care of a family. That's a
Yeah.
really,
So
unique
survive.
experience. Yeah.
It's a surviving stage. So people have the capability to survive. Everyone had the capability to survive, even my kids. So when people say you're not saving your money for your kids, I'd be like, hell no, they have to work it to earn that. Why do I have to put things in the future for them? Like I
Mm.
always look back to myself. My dad doesn't have anything ready for me, but he
Mm.
always constantly saying, you know what, I'm gonna buy a house and this is, for your future as well. And then it's clicking in my head that you just want that and you said that to make it look pretty. Like
Mm.
to make it be more romantic in a way, in a sense, like, oh, I also think about our family. And I'd be like, bullshit. If you really think about me, you wouldn't miss my graduation ceremony. You would take your day off from your work and tell everyone in the family to be there on my graduation if you really care. Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I think.
Wow. This
That's
is
what I
this
think.
has been such an interesting conversation. Like it's such a unique, perspective on family and life and culture. And damn, like the things that you went through, like I am all for you rediscovering yourself. And I feel like if there's anyone who got inspired and really like is curious about how your journey is going, where can they find you?
Where, yeah, you know what, people be like, you should start writing a book or write a blog about all your journey or all your experience and why you made that decision. Previously I was been in one of the Fast Work CEO podcasts. He also said the things like, your story gonna inspire so many women, people who are trapped in the old mindset and the romantic subculture that, oh, you know what? Maybe family is everything. Maybe the kids is everything. My life is dedicated for them and stuff like that. I am thinking of, yeah, opening up my blog, but right now my blog is all over the place. I have kaosuilalala.com. I'll give you the link later, but it's a blog where I just work on it because I work in the influences industry. So it's more of a beauty reviews, going on the event. You will saw me on a fancy luncheon or my kids having new backpacks sponsored or stuff like that. It's a blog that I made for sponsored posts and write all the things I play, the things I interest in. But I'll record my journey, yeah,
The more
from
the
this point.
real interesting, the real interesting journey. Awesome. Jay,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on. Before I let you go, I want you to answer this one last question.
Mhm.
Jay breaks the mold by.
Wow. I think it's experienced. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. All right,
Mhm.
guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pussy Power. It's been such a unique episode. I think it's definitely something that, you know, breaks us out of that traditional Asian mold of you have to be this way, you have to be this woman. And Jay, thank you so much for being an example and living your life to show other people that you need to choose yourself, because if you don't, you can't show up for the people that you want to show up for.
Yes. Find your own happiness and not living because of other people's happiness.
Totally. Thank you so much, Jay. All right, guys, thank you for tuning into this episode, and I wish you enjoyed it.